Hello, my name is Andrea Theas Lopez, and here's my presentation on how pollinators and growing methods affect strawberry yields. For some background, strawberries, just like every other plant, grow depending on the surrounding factors of the environment it is located in. Whether it be on a farm, a lab, or even just out in the wild, the type of pollinators and environments that the plant finds themselves in will ultimately determine the final product of the fruits the plant is growing. Strawberries, for instance, rely heavily on these factors when it comes to the final product of their fruits, with some fruits growing potentially larger and heavier than others. While some pollinators and the environment in which a strawberry plant grows are the most important factors when growing any type of plant, how important are they for the overall yield? How much of an impact can different methods and pollinators actually have on strawberry plants to gain the best kind of results? These are just some of the questions I began to ask myself, and that helped me formulate my research questions, which ended up being: what type of factors actually improve strawberry yields and growth, and how can they impact strawberry plants and to what degree, as well as how they might differ from one another? While these are just some general questions about my topic, they proved to be quite useful in directing my attention to the field of strawberry production and learning more about the outside factors that play a part in the final product. For my research question and hypothesis. Following my research question, I began thinking once more and came up with my own hypotheses or answers regarding how strawberry plants are actually affected by. For starters, it's a given that pollinators play a key role in the overall product, as more pollinators typically equal a better result compared to less. With that being said, I also believe that certain type of pollinators might do more justice than others, as not all pollinators are the same. Secondly, a plant's surroundings are also important, as a good area for growth typically leads to better results. Placing a plant in an area not suited for their needs will typically lead to a less than ideal plant, not to mention the products being used with said plant, such as fertilizers or mulches, may also play a key role in the end product. Just to retouch on these, it's exactly as I was said. I do believe that certain pollinators are better in comparison to others, and I also believe that a growing environment is also very important when it comes to growing a plant, as it ultimately determines everything about how the plant grows from its start to its end product. For my data and methods, these figures depict a study regarding the use of different mulches in strawberry plants in figure 3, as well as the observation of pollinators and the rate of pollinating flowers per minute in figure 1. Here we can see that while the use of different mulches didn't ultimately cause much of a difference for either the growth of the strawberry plant nor the rate of pollinator, seraphid flies did end up being higher on both charts for a period of time. As this study was taken over a 2-year period, the data for the seraphid flies did change for the second half, though honeybees did come in second place for the rate of pollination of strawberry plants. Just to touch up on some of these figures, for figure 1, we can see that there's a chart, and it depicted all the observed pollinators, with seraphid flies coming very high for the first year in 2022 compared to regular bees. Similarly, in figure 3, we can see that seraphid flies were highest for each mulch that was used on their strawberry plants, the different mulches being black, metallic paper, and white mulches. Um, Following the seraphid flies, the bumblebees did appear to be the second highest, though in general, there weren't a lot of changes to the amount of pollinators that were observed. We can kind of see this in the 2023 chart, where despite the seraphid flies having a dramatic decrease, the amount of pollinators for each pollinator didn't really seem to change. And that concludes my presentation. Pollinators, just for like any other plant, are crucial factors in a plant's growth, whether it be for fruits, vegetables, or general vegetation of life. Strawberry plants can be very particular with their pollinators, considering they each have their own unique characteristics that impact their ability to pollinate a wide range of plants. Take, for instance, the classic honeybee. While its overall ability to pollinate plants doesn't lack efficiency, it can definitely be seen as slightly weak in comparison to the ways of the seraphid flies at times, though both are definitely key to strawberry pollination. Similarly, a plant's growing methods are also important to their overall health and growth. It can ultimately determine how highly or poorly a plant's performance is going to turn out. For instance, while using different mulches to promote strawberry growth might seem like a good idea, it actually doesn't affect the overall growth, nor does it affect which type of pollinators visit either. And that concludes my presentation. Here are my list of references, and thank you for watching.